Yeah, beware Aaron Rodgers. If Nathaniel Hackett becomes the head coach of the Denver Broncos, you may not want to jump into that division in that conference when you own the NFC North, especially with the Bears and the Vikings both getting new head coaches. The Lions in year 2 of their latest regime change. I don't know why Aaron Rodgers would want to leave the Green Bay Packers. He says he'll take some time. He doesn't want to be part of a rebuild. Look, I've come to the point where I've concluded that Aaron Rodgers just likes being the center of attention. Period. He likes to talk, he likes to hear himself talk, and he likes to hear people talk about him. That's it. And he's gotten to the point where he doesn't care about being criticized. He's so interested in being part of the conversation, being front and center, being able to set the narrative. He understands there are people who are going to criticize him. He's willing to go into that fray and push back against those who would in any way not praise him for being the smartest, the most enlightened athlete of our time. I don't know what he's going to do. But I think he likes being the center of our attention, and I can't wait. I can't wait to see what he has to say tomorrow to try to downplay the clear import of the things he said on Saturday night after that game, because it's clear he's having serious thoughts about whether or not he's going to return, and we'll know sooner than later what he's going to do. He said by the start of free agency, because he's going to be looking for another team if he decides he's not going to stay with the Packers.
Well, let's hope it's sooner than later. I mean, that didn't happen last year, and this thing dragged out until the 11th hour before training camp started.
Hey,
so
that's good for business. That's good for business. Take your time, Aaron.
That's true.
You don't have to make a decision by the middle of March. Take as long as you want. Take all the way up until the start of training camp if you want. I've got no complaints about that.
Well, and, Rodgers seemed to indicate that his relationship with the team, with the front office, has improved since then. That he made it sound like, Mike, I got the feeling over the last 2 weeks before this loss that he was going to come back, and he was ready to come back to Green Bay and realize that the grass wasn't necessarily greener somewhere else. Look, every team has problems, and some with owners, because Packers don't have an owner, have more problems than what the Packers have. So when you start really assessing the positives on one side and the negatives on another, I don't know that there is a better situation for him than Green Bay, with the division they're in, with everything else that goes into that team, with the fan support, with everything. I mean, to me, there's not a better situation that he can go to and have a chance to win. Like I said, I'm not going to the AFC if I'm Aaron Rodgers or Tom Brady. I'm staying in the NFC because I think I have a better chance to get to a Super Bowl and win a Super Bowl than having to go through those guys in the AFC.
Best way the Packers can keep him in place is to approach him right now with a major contract offer, fully guaranteed. How about 2 years, $100 million? You know what? That sounds ludicrous. Patrick Mahomes makes $45 million a year. Josh Allen's making $43. Dak Prescott's making $40. Aaron Rodgers, wire to wire, the best quarterback in the NFL this year, although last night Josh Allen and Patrick Mahomes may have changed my mind. But he's making Jared Goff money at $33.5 million. I really do think if the Packers want to keep him, I've said this before and I don't want to lose sight of it, the easiest way to do it is show up at his doorstep with a gigantic pile of money that will make the decision for him. That in the offering of that contract, not only the money talks, but it also basically says Jordan Love is a guy who's going to languish on the bench until we trade him. We're never going to play him. 2 years, $100 million, fully guaranteed at signing. That's not a ridiculous number. That's not an unfair number. That's fitting. And also in Green Bay, it's not like they have some owner who is stuffing all that money into his or her pocket. It's publicly owned. And they've made a lot of money off of selling money-for-nothing stock certificates. They've got the $100 million that they can give to Aaron Rodgers for 2 more years if they want to do it, Charean.
Well, and I would also approach him, Mike, and give him some say in the offensive personnel. Who do you want? Now, obviously, we know he's going to want to keep Devontae Adams, but they can franchise tag him. They certainly have a challenging salary cap situation. We know that. They're the second most over the projected cap for next year, behind only or in front of, however you want to refer to it, the Saints. So they've got some work to do on that front, but we all know you can do stuff to make the cap work for you. They can do what they want to do. So franchise tag Davante Adams, show up with that check, and tell Rodgers, hey, we'll work with you. Who do you want at receiver? Who do you want at running back? Who do you want in the offensive line? How can we improve this? How can we make this better for you? How can we get over that hump to win in the postseason, to go to the Super Bowl and win your second Super Bowl? We realize it's been 11 years since that's happened. So that's what they need to do. Give him some say in that area as well.
Last point real quickly before we take a break. I wrote about this earlier today, but when you consider that the Packers made a half-hearted effort at getting Odell Beckham Jr. They made him an offer they knew he wouldn't accept. They really didn't want him. Now, they placated Aaron Rodgers. Aaron Rodgers at the time said, hey, I'm just glad they tried. I don't think they tried all that hard. They didn't do what the Rams did, where you had this multi-level effort to show OBJ the love, as he said. They could have used Odell Beckham on Saturday night. They could have used Odell Beckham in this run-up to the postseason, getting him up to speed and having him ready to go, because other than Davante Adams, there wasn't much contribution by any of the other pass catchers. The Buccaneers could have used OBJ. Remember the flippant remark from Bruce Arians? Too many initials. We got AB, we don't need OBJ. Well, part of it is he may help you, and he's definitely not going to help one of your competitors. The Rams have OBJ. They're still alive, and they're feeling pretty good because he's done well for them. Bucs and Packers out, wondering what may have been.
Hi, I'm Mike Tirico, and thanks for watching. Make sure to hit subscribe for the latest news and highlights from NBC Sports.